Welcome to the Mugiwara Sketches YouTube channel, buddy. In today's video, we go deep into one of the most interesting mysteries in the world of One Piece, the mysterious Will of D. It's something that only a few characters have, and it's been a big part of the mystery of the story from the beginning. So, let's find out what the Will of D means and take a closer look at the people whose names have this mysterious letter. Only a few special One Piece characters have the secret Will of D. One Piece is full of secrets, like the treasure that the main character, Monkey D. Luffy, and the rest of the Straw Hat Pirates have been looking for since the beginning of the series. But the secret behind the Will of D is an even bigger wonder that has been teased for just as long as the One Piece. Even though new information has shed some light on the Will of D, almost nothing is known about how it fits into history. Aside from the fact that its owners are said to be enemies of the celestial dragons, not much is known about them. Still, people with the initial D are some of the most important people in One Piece, so it's clear that their connection will be a big deal by the end of the series. Now, let's turn our attention to the people whose names include Will of D. Each of them has a different part in the series, and their relationship to this mysterious trait is sure to affect how the story goes. First is Monkey D. Garp, who is known as the hero of the Marines. As the hero of the Marines, Monkey D. Garp might be the best-known fighter in the world as a whole. The Marines used to be Gol D. Roger's biggest enemy. When the King of Pirates was still alive, the Marine and Gol D. Roger worked together to beat Rouge D. Xebec, the captain of the Rocks pirate. Garp has a job in the world government, which is different from most people who have the Will of D. This puts him in an interesting scenario since people with the initials are said to be the natural enemies of the Celestial Dragons, the group that Monkey D. Garp works for. Also, Garp's children Dragon, Luffy, and Garp's adopted grandson, Ace, are some of the worst enemies of the world government. This makes his part in the final saga of One Piece something to keep an eye on. Monkey D. Dragon, the supreme commander of the Revolutionary Army. Monkey D. Dragon might be the figure in One Piece who best shows the Will of D. The head of the Revolutionary Army is known as the world's worst criminal, and because of what he has done, countries all over the Grand Line have started to rebel against the world government. Monkey D. Dragon has only been in a few One Piece episodes, but he has had an effect on the whole show. With a full-scale war against the world government on the brink, Luffy's father is likely to show how rebellious he is soon. Our own main character, Monkey D. Luffy. After the Wano Country arc, the main character of One Piece, Monkey D. Luffy, is closer than ever to becoming the king of the pirates, which is his goal. The Straw Hat Pirate and his friends finally beat the Beast Pirates. This gave him the title of Emperor of the Sea and sent him on his way to find the island of Laugh Tale. People who have the Will of D are said to be natural enemies of the Celestial Dragons. In this way, Luffy is the best example of what the Will of D stands for. The Straw Hat Pirate has already fought several Celestial Dragons and world nobles, and with a war against the world government on the horizon, he's sure to fight at least a few more. The Will of D isn't just about people. Jaguar D. Saul, a giant who used to be a vice admiral in the Marines. The Will of D isn't just for people. Giants can also hold the initials, as Jaguar D. Saul demonstrated. So far, only the former Vice Admiral of the Marines has the initial, but there's a good chance that the Will of D is well represented among the giants who live on the island of Elbaf. When the world government chose to send a buster call to O'Hara, Jaguar D. Saul spoke up right away to say that he did not agree. After giving up the rank of Vice Admiral, Saul went to O'Hara and tried to help the people there. Even though he and the people of O'Hara seemed to have died, the giant actually got away to Elbaf, which made it possible for him and Nico Robin to meet again. Trafalgar D. Waterlaw was the leader of the Heart Pirates. None of the 11 supernovas has had a bigger impact on what happens in the New World than Monkey D. Luffy and Trafalgar D. Waterlaw, leaders of the Heart Pirates. The Surgeon of Death helps the Straw Hat Pirates destroy Don Quixote Doflamingo's violent crime empire. During the raid on Onigashima, he and Eustace Kid eliminate Charlotte Lin Lin, one of the 4 emperors of the sea. Since Trafalgar D. Waterlaw has the Will of D, it makes sense that he's been a part of some of the most important things that have happened in One Piece. But while most of the Will of D characters don't care about the history behind the initial, Law is very interested in it. This could set him up to solve the puzzle in the last saga of the series. Marshall D. Teach, who is also known as Blackbeard, was an ambitious man. Even though Marshall D. Teach has a lot of flaws, he is very ambitious. Teach, also known as Blackbeard, joins the Warlords of the Sea after capturing the Portgas D. Ace. After defeating Whitebeard and the rest of his gang, he becomes an Emperor of the Sea as well. Blackbeard is much worse than most people who carry the Will of D. in One Piece, but he still hates the celestial dragons and the world government. He is determined to find the One Piece, and besides Monkey D. Luffy, there aren't many people left who can stop him. Gol D. Roger, the renowned pirate king. People who have the will of D tend to be against the world government, and no pirate in history has been more of a pain for the Marines than Gol D. Roger, the king of the pirates. The legendary figure died 24 years before the events of One Piece, but his impact is still felt throughout the entire Grand Line. Roger's acts started the golden age of piracy, which weakened the power of the world government for decades after he was killed. The only person to master the Grand Line has done more to further the will of D than almost anyone else. The Pirate King's wife, Portgas D. Rouge. In Gol D. Roger's last years, he broke up the Roger pirates and sailed the seas alone until he reached the South Seas. He fell in love with Portgas D. Rouge, a strong-willed woman he met there. She gave birth to Portgas D. who was their only child. Even though she is important to the story of One Piece, Portgas D. Rouge's past is still a secret. But the fact that she didn't give birth for 20 months shows how strong she is as a member of the D family. Fire Fist 2nd Division Whitebeard Pirates Commander, Portgas D. Although they don't have to be blood relatives, those who carry the will of D share a strong bond. This means that two members of the D family can have a child. This is exactly what happened when Gol D. Roger fell in love with Portgas D. Rouge, which gave birth to Portgas D. a fiery fan favorite. When Portgas D. shows up for the first time in One Piece's Alabasta arc, he quickly starts the new age of piracy. Even though Ace was put to death as a young adult, his life encouraged many pirates to rebel against the world government and spread the will of D all over the Grand Line. Rox D. Xebec is the supreme commander of the Rocks Pirates. In One Piece, there are a lot of strong bad guys, but none are as well known as Rox D. Xebec, the leader of the Rocks Pirates. Even though the scary pirate hasn't been shown on screen yet, what little is known about his life makes it seem like he could be the best will of D ever. 3 future Emperors of the Sea were on Rox D. Xebec's crew: Kaido, Charlotte Linlin, and Edward Newgate. Other well-known pirates, like Golden Lion Shiki and Miss Buckingham Stussy, were also on board. If Gol D. Roger and Monkey D. Garp hadn't tried to stop him, Rox D. Xebec might have used the will of D to become king of the world. The mysterious Nefertari D. Lily. Recent reveals in the One Piece manga shed light on Imu and the 5 Elders, finally giving us some much-needed information about these unknown people. During these scenes, they revealed that Nefertari D. Lily was a relative of Vivi and the Nefertari family of Alabasta Kingdom. Even though Imu didn't say much about Nefertari D. Lily, the leader of the world government hinted that Lily played a big part in spreading the poneglyphs around the world. If this is true, it's exactly the kind of thing you'd expect from someone who has the will of D. The king of Alabasta Kingdom, Nefertari D. Cobra. Since the Void Century, the Alabasta Kingdom has been run by the Nefertari family, and the most recent king, Nefertari D. Cobra, is one of the best of them. The wise king helps the Straw Hat Pirates a lot, and it's clear that he cares about the people in his kingdom. Nefertari D. Cobra, unlike most of the rulers at the top of the world government, doesn't look down on the people he rules. Unfortunately, this makes Imu and the 5 Elders angry, and when Cobra asks them about the will of D and the Void Century, they kill him. The princess of the Alabasta Kingdom, Nefertari D. Vivi. Nefertari D. Vivi joins the Straw Hat Pirates as soon as they get to the Grand Line, but her position as a carrier of the will of D wasn't known until the Egghead arc. Now that she knows this, her connection to radical groups like the Straw Hat Pirates makes a lot more sense. Vivi isn't afraid to say what she thinks, and during the events of the Reverie, it's clear that she doesn't like the celestial dragons. As the final story of One Piece begins, the world government will probably do everything it can to stop her. And there you have it, the diverse cast of characters connected by the will of D in One Piece. As we move towards the series' conclusion, these characters and their shared traits are bound to shape the fate of the Grand Line and challenge the very foundation of the world government. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more exciting explorations into the world of anime and manga. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring. Thank you very much for visiting the Mugiwara Sketches YouTube channel, buddy. We hope you enjoy our funny sketch videos and anime reviews. Don't forget to subscribe to continue joining us on our joyful journey in the world of anime. If you have any wishes, questions, or suggestions for our next videos, feel free to express your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you very much for your support, and until we meet again. See you next time, buddy.